So welcome to this additional installment on doing a literature review. You have identified the literature, it's the first step. Then we spent a bit of time thinking about reading this literature and writing a lot of notes and identifying the main theses of the articles and books that are written in your field. And now we come to actually writing the review. I would like to sort of capture that in two words. One is that you should begin to organize the literature, the books itself, set up some kind of a mind map. Either you can do it on paper or you can use a computer program if you are comfortable with that. But try to organize the literature to identify what people are saying, where are they agreeing with each other, and put them together with each other. Identify also the individuals, give positions the names. If there is a position that is taken on how religious rituals are identified or how are they discussed by individuals, then you should be able to put some kind of name to them, and then henceforth always associated this particular position with that name. So focus on the what and the who in different ways. Then you ask yourself, how are these individuals doing? Somebody may be working on a bit of texts, and other people doing a review or has been doing some field work. You should be able to identify this. So set up a whole section on how these scholars, these individual scholars. So if you've got the first place about who and what is being said, who is saying this, then you also begin to identify how other people saying it, and you can develop a whole paragraph or two in your literature review about how the different scholars are approaching this field. So if you know what your field is, some people are looking at interviews, some people are looking at observations, some people are looking at texts, some people are doing a review of the literature, a review of what has been done so far. And if they're doing that, then you also do that. You identify all the people who are doing reviews. That will come under what? And how are they doing the reviews? By doing a review of the latest books or articles and books that have been written between a certain period. That's how we mean by how. How meaning identify their methodology. Then the third thing that you might want to look at is there some kind of a theoretical debate going on? So in addition to what they are saying, are they also debating on a theoretical level? Some people might be arguing for a more Marxist approach, or are there other people arguing in a different approach to perhaps rituals? And how are they then saying that this is significantly different from what others are saying? Identify one or two or three theoretical approaches they might be taking. But if you don't get that, don't worry so much about it. It's quite sufficient if you focus on the what, the who, and the how. Another way of thinking about a literature review is if you start identifying a trend, then you might want to say, well, you're agreeing with this trend. So I would like to think of this as you joining a trend. There are maybe one or two trends, you like to join one of them, then begin to identify that this is the trend that you would like to join. Find a break. Maybe you're doing something really interesting, something different, and the literature review tells you that nobody's been doing something in this. So that's also something that you would like to highlight, that you like to alert for yourself that you are doing something unique, and your uniqueness should be in relation to what has been done in the field. Or you might want to take a ride. You see somebody really interesting has presented an argument, presented a framework, and you want to join that person, join him or her, and saying, I'm going to take a ride with you. The most important thing about literature review is you are now beginning to look at what people are saying, and you are slowly but surely finding your voice. So a literature review is about organization, which I have stressed a lot about, but also begin to imagine. Try to use your sense of imagination, of beginning to think of something new, beginning to set out some unique location for yourself, some unique perspective that you want to bring forward. So literature review is fundamentally important. It's really the way in which you can begin to set out, find your voice, set out some kind of a direction for your work. Take your time, work with a number of papers, maybe 20, 30, 40, 50, even more, but you're already beginning to organize and you are then beginning to see your voice coming through.